We're just talking blues. Just talking blues with you.
Christina, thank you for joining me at Just Talking Blues. How are you?
I'm good, Kelvin. Thank you so much for the offer. It's great to meet you online and, yeah, looking forward to having a chat.
Likewise, yeah. So, Christina, can you just take us all the way back to when you first started with your music career?
Oh, well, I dabbled in it from being a young teenager. You know, I sort of loved guitar from a really early age, and it wasn't really exposed to musicians. You know, as I was growing up, there was I grew up in Brisbane, so I was sort of in the back blocks and didn't really have any musos. But when I sort of got into it in my early 20s, when I moved to Sydney, and just started, I always thought, I'll probably only be a rhythm player, but I really loved lead guitar. So first things first, I just started auditioning for rhythm parts in bands around Sydney back way back. And and one thing led to another. And then I met Steve Crofts, later became my husband, obviously, but he's a phenomenal guitar player and it was a guitar teacher. So he kind of put me on the right track with, you know, getting my playing together. And from there it's just been I suppose just a steady passion burning in the background around life. Like, it's not, I want it to be my main passion in life, but you know, life throws curveballs at you and you just do what you do. But just keep sort of doing what I do, and I love it, and hopefully I've gotten better at it over the years.
So do you play any other musical instruments besides guitar?
Not regularly, but I can play the piano accordion somewhat, not sort of on the level of genuine accordion players, but that was just an instrument that was in my family because my mum could play a little bit when I was growing up, and for want of having a guitar, there was an accordion there. So I think just being drawn to music, and I did like that kind of stuff as well. Like, I've got a fairly broad passion for all music. Yeah, I found that relatively easy as well. And every so often I just get the accordion out and I play a few. I've only got a handful of songs I can play on it. I do it sort of I sort of remember my mum when I do it.
Yep. So the music is actually born within the family, or?
I think particularly from my mum. She was very, very much, you know, she was always, my dad was Norwegian, and from that era of people where I think they just had to work hard and people who liked music were frowned upon, and it was just, that's just ridiculous. You're not going to be a musician. And I'm pretty sure he liked it somewhere in the deep soul of himself, but he was always quite scornful of me wanting to play music, you know. But as he got older and I got older, I knew he was quite proud. But it was largely from Mum. Thankfully, she was so musical, and her brother was Stan Costa. I don't know if you know anything about.
Costa? Wow.
Yes, so he related to a country balladeer celebrity.
So you would have met Slim Dusty then, I take it.
No, I actually never met Slim, believe it or not, because Uncle Stan, as we lovingly know him, was in and out of town, breezed in every few years because we were living in Brisbane in the time, and he was always just out, you know, out west doing things, droving and travelling around. And his career didn't kick off until he was he was probably well into his 50s, I think, before he actually I might be wrong on that dates, but I know he was pretty old when he sort of got his own career, because he was writing for Slim Dusty for a long while. I think Slim used his songs, so he's obviously a talented writer. But but like, I was impressed. I remember when I was probably a kid, Stan came through with his family and there was a bit of a party and there was a guitar, and I was probably 9 or something, and thought, I love this instrument. And he showed me 3 chords, like G, C and D, and I never forgot them, even though I didn't have a guitar. So I remembered them until I found a guitar when I was 14, and I can still remember the shape. And that was kind of how I taught myself in the beginning, because I'd watch all my favourite guitar players and stuff on TV, and I'd sort of, you know, study their hand shapes, and I'd go, thankfully had a reasonable ear, so I knew if it was making a decent sound or a crap sound.
Yeah. So your uncle was Stan, yeah? Stan Costa? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So around that period, there would have been Slim Dusty, there would have been Chad Morgan, there would have been early John Williamson.
Yeah.
There would have been Reg Lindsay.
Yeah.
Ray.
Yeah, I remember all those people from that era.
Yeah, I think Ray Kernigan's in on the Gold Coast or something now. I think.
All right.
He's obviously long retired, but
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's where he is. So yeah,
Yeah, it was the era, wasn't it, for all those
it was.
guys? But yeah. But yeah, that was one level of interest, sort of influence, I should say, from my musical thing. And then my mum also loved opera and classical music, and I loved dancing and ballet when I was little. So there was a lot. I sort of, there's no music I don't really like. Something
Mm.
of it, like I'm definitely a blues rock. You know, that's my thing, guitar wise, and what I really love to play, and where I'm at, I suppose, broadly speaking. But yeah, I've had a lot of influences in there.
Right. So within your particular sound, who did you look up to?
Oh, look, apart from my husband, Steve, like, because he had such an influence on me because I was such a young novice of a guitar player, and I saw him. Well, actually, Mum and her partner saw him playing somewhere in a pub, and said it was when I bought my first Strat way back, and I was just sort of getting into it. And she came home and she said, "Oh, you've got to see this guy. He's got the same coloured guitar as you, and you've got to come up. He's amazing." So that's where that started. Went and saw him play, and I thought I had never seen anyone play quite like him. But I
Mm.
think early on, like probably the most relatable, there's two. Like I really, from my slide guitar playing side, David Lindley is my all-time hero. Like there's nothing David Lindley can't do that
Yeah,
he's like a god to me. And Rory Gallagher. I
Rory
think
Gallagher.
I love Rory Gallagher. Like, 'cause from the minute I heard that man play, I thought, oh, he's just got it going on. And
Mm.
he's also like he's like, I suppose, I think he's a little bit like Johnny Winter. There's a similarity there. So they're both, but Rory does sort of get a lot more melodic in some of his music, and I really appreciate probably maybe those more than just the fairly cliche boogie stuff. But he's got such a tone. Like I
Yeah,
love that sound.
indeed. Yeah, yeah. So all right. So do you have any like personal achievements from your
Oh well, yeah, look, I mean, I'm pretty stoked at the moment that my latest album, the compilation, The Best of Bottleneck, made it to #1 in
Yeah,
September on the Abrac. So that's,
indeed.
like,
Congratulations
yes,
on that.
finally, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that was a big feather in my cap. And I mean, previously I released the album Just How Love Feels in 2019, like late 2019, and that debuted at #2. So I was pretty rapt when that happened, and kind of, everything fell apart because it was all just the beginning of 2020, and we all know what happened in that year, the
Mhm.
COVID thing. And so, but yeah, I'm very, very happy that this little random idea that I had to put out this bottleneck thing
Mm.
has done that. But I mean, I've had some had some good festivals that I've played on and stuff like that. But I think probably just on a personal level, it's always a bit of a struggle, just musically, as you know, like you were alluding before you pressed record. We were talking about music and the industry, but it's a tough industry, and I've had a lot of tough things happen in my life. So I'm sort of personally I sometimes just think, well, it's always tough. I never get quite, always struggling and striving to get to the next place, but I'm just always happy that I've been able to keep doing it, kept the spirit alive, and kept doing it for myself and for my lovely husband, Steve, who passed away in 2016.
Wow, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So he was sick for a long time. So that's, that had quite an impact on obviously both of us. But, so, but, I play his beautiful old guitars and amps, and, I'm not going to leave them under a bed somewhere. They're going to get out
Keeping
and
the
keep
spirit
playing.
alive there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
there's always a part of him in everything I do. So,
No,
yeah.
fantastic. That's great. So, um, you write all your own material?
Yes, I have. I've got 5 albums, I suppose, including this compilation. The first album we did, Steve was still in the band. Like, he was in a band called the Bombers, in the late 80s and 90s. And then
Mm.
when that sort of fell apart in the latter part of 1990s, I had my band. I used to call myself Crofts Traffic back then. We're just doing covers.
Yep.
And it was just a joke, a funny thing I said one day. And I said, that's a funny name for a band, Crofts Traffic. It's
Yeah.
funny.
No.
But then he joined for a little while when his band fell apart. I thought, okay, join me, and we'll, and then we recorded some demo stuff. And then he was diagnosed with Huntington's disease early on in 2010. early 20s. And then we just decided, kind of we should just record something. So we did that first album, the Crofstown Unboogie CD, which had about 4 covers on it. And then I sort of found myself quick, I better work out how to write a song. So, that was where they all came from. Some of them were from riff ideas that Steve had recorded already, just guitar riffs and stuff. So then we sort of kind of got that into shape. But I think I feel like that was, it just proved to me that I could write songs, and I hadn't really tried it before. And then, after then he couldn't play anymore. So I did the Midnight Train album. So that featured 9 tracks, which were all originals. And, there again, a couple of the songs were fashioned off riffs that he had done ages ago. Midnight Train and Angel Dust, the instrumental, they were both, great riffs that he had on an old 4-track. And I thought, wow, they're great. So I sort of just shaped them into songs and, created the words. But I feel, it's a growing thing, obviously. You get better at it as you go along, and learning how to record and get your voice sounding better and all that as you go along as well. So it's quite a lot to, I hadn't done it before, but I'm pleased with what I've done. I feel like it's getting better as I go along. So, and sort of becoming myself, I suppose, is what I mean by that too. Like just growing into the my actual, I feel like I've got my own style and sound. So I'm happy with that. I'm not trying to be anybody else. I like what I do.
Yeah, no. So when you tour, what's the audience atmosphere like?
Oh, it's always great. Like, I mean, obviously I've got a lot coming up, which is good. So, looking forward to getting a few more gigs under the belt, hopefully in the next year, because, it's always slow, as getting gigs, and it's a tough road, and like it's so competitive, and there's so few venues and so many musicians. But anytime I play, it always gets a bit wild and rowdy. It's quite rocking. It's sort of on the rockier edge of the blues spectrum, with a tinge of country rock and that sort of, I suppose just have a good time kind of atmosphere. But yeah, the gigs always go off. So
is there a crowd favourite that people always look forward to when they see you?
Yeah, people always love Midnight Train, because I usually close my sets. Mostly we're doing like 3 45-minute sets, and obviously unless you do a festival or something, but sort of usually fashion my sets to end each set with 2 or 3 slide songs. And so always at the end of the third set, we always finish with those, because Midnight Train's I use a particular tuning for that. So I have to have those 3 songs, but it really goes off and people love it. But that's, and I think that would be the all-time favourite from Radio Play as well, because it just seems to be. It's probably just that catchy hook, and that you can thank Steve for that too, because that was one of his guitarists from way back. But yeah, and it's fun. It's good fun to play.
Yeah, okay. So with you, just going back to Best of Bottleneck, how did you choose the tracks to go onto that album?
Oh, that was a bit hard, actually. It took me a while to get my head around what to actually put on it. But I thought, I suppose I just need to. It was funny because someone said, "Oh, why don't you do a best of album?" And I thought, I don't know. That's a bit sort of like,
a bit too early.
Yeah, I'm not that famous, like, have you not noticed? I'm not the Rolling Stones. But and then I thought about it for a while, and then I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, Best of Bottleneck just really appealed to me, because I thought, well, every gig that I play, the slide guitar stuff gives everyone the wow factor, because it's they love everything I also do, but when you bring that out, it's just another level of of scorch and tone, and brings it up a notch.
So how long did it take you from start to finish to actually produce the album?
Oh, it was actually really quick, because all the songs obviously had been pre-recorded. So it was just a matter of, I just called Marshall and said, look, this is what I'm thinking. I'm going to put out a Best of Bottleneck album, and this is what I think, and he was right behind it. So it was more, once I decided on the 12 tracks, and I wasn't even sure I was going to put that many on there, but I just thought always, it took a little bit, sort of, but I like to tell something of a story, I suppose, with the way tracks sit together, sort of start somewhere and get a bit softer and then build back up, or, sort of not have it going all over the shop, I guess. So That's why I thought hit him right between the eyes with Voodoo Queen and
Yes.
set the record straight.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
So it really probably took a matter of about 4 or 5 weeks to get it to the stage of, ready to. And then we just had the plan that we'd release it to radio for the 1st of August. So,
Yep.
but yeah, Marshall and his crew at Foghorn Media and that they really know their stuff. Yeah, it was a breeze. I was so surprised how quickly it came together. So it sort of all felt a bit like it was meant to be.
Yeah. Well, Marshall is. I've also spoken to Cole and Nerolita.
Yeah,
They're great people to speak to. Watch my chat with them.
yeah,
It's a classic.
yeah,
And I mean, with Marshall, you've got
yeah.
his PR team must do a great job.
Oh, they do.
They must do a
Yeah,
great job. The last couple of their albums have reached into the top 10. The last
yeah. Wow.
the Musical Tones last album went to
Yeah.
number 1. The one before that
Nice.
wouldn't even leave the top 10.
Wow.
No.
Very good.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
so-
they know their stuff. They're so professional and they've just got that whole digital thing down pat. Like when I did the Just How Love Feels album, I released that myself. I recorded it at Damien Gerard Studios, and that's where the connection with Marshall comes from. But
Mm.
I'd done the release myself, and
Yep.
it did well, but like if I mailed it all out in the mail, sent the physical copy. But then even in that 5 years, things have changed so much. So most radio guys don't want a physical copy. They just want the digital pack.
Digital.
He did such a good job of it, like getting it on all the platforms.
Yeah. No, look, I'm as much as I know it's the digital age now.
Yeah.
I still much prefer the physical copy. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
if you'd seen my collection of recorded music, my God.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it sounds like us because Steve, like he was a complete CD nut. I've still got all his CDs, and there must be like 1,500 to 2,000 of them.
Yep.
Just, still, and he's got so much, stuff. He was obsessed with it. So, yeah, I'm a fan of CDs, and I'm so happy with the way I just had the vision for the cover and the back cover and the front cover, and I just thought, I know this is going to look amazing. So, and it does. I'm
It
tickled
does.
pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely done it justice.
Yeah, and it's so me. Like it really captures me, as that front cover photo was taken by Jason Rosewarne when I did, I think it was a Dockland Festival quite a few years back now, but he sent that to me with all those sparks coming out of it with that Photoshop thing that he did. And I love that photo, and everyone's loved that photo. And I thought that's a perfect cover shot. And then I've got my old amps and guitar on the back, and I think it's who I am.
Yep. Just going back to achievements. How many? I mean, you would have done a lot of festivals in your time.
I have, yeah. I've done, well, we always want to do more. But I've done Broadbeach. Blues on Broadbeach was great. That's such a good festival. And I did Agnes Water Blues and Roots Festival, and Mitchell Creek Rock and Blues Festival was great, and Threadbow a couple of times, and Great
Wow.
Southern at Narooma, and done the Blues Train down in Melbourne a few times. And
That's interesting.
that's a great gig too. That's wild and fun and crazy. Yeah, it's such a good concept. It's sort of, they've got all 4 different carriages on the old steam train, and they have a different act in each carriage. And then,
Wow.
so the train, they have like buffet food before it leaves, and then you get on and you play your set, and it pulls into a station, and then the crowd has to change carriages. So you get a completely fresh crowd. So it's such a cool thing. And it's fun because it's rocking sideways, and you're trying to stand, a bit like the harbour cruises,
Yeah, indeed.
But
I've
yeah,
actually-
it's
I've
awesome.
actually got a chat lined up with the Blues Train coming up, hopefully shortly. So
Yeah.
that'll be quite an interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to seek out another gig with them. I haven't done it for quite a few years, but I think Hugo used to do it, but he sold it. So someone else owns it. But
That's right.
he was talking to me, and he said, I should try, because they're pretty much the same as what they were doing before. But it's a fun thing to do. It's a very cool gig.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone was only just telling me the other day that the blues train has changed hands.
Yeah, I reached out to Hugo a couple of weeks back, just said, "Oh, hey, I'm just done okay with this CD and I'm looking at doing some gigs down in Melbourne if I can put it together for next year."
Mm.
And then he told me that he'd sold it about maybe 18 months ago, which I didn't know, but
Mm.
and
Okay.
yeah, but he was happy to have a chat about it all.
Right. So what would be your most memorable moment from touring?
Oh, that's a curly
That's a
question. There's
hard
so
one, isn't
many.
it? Yeah.
I don't really know. I don't know if I have a memorable moment. There's so many. I mean, I actually did some gigs in Scandinavia 2 years ago, which was pretty cool.
So you've toured
Um,
overseas as well?
yeah, only there partly because of the ancestral history. You know, I got
Okay.
friends and you know, my family over there. I said, why don't you get some gigs? So I sort of put together a little bit of a tour schedule, and that was fun. But it's hard traveling with really old, precious instruments. That's all I can say because
Oh,
you
I'm
worry
sure
about
it
them
would
all the
be.
time. And
Yeah.
but I
Insurance
think,
and whatnot?
yeah, all of that. I've
Yeah.
got all of that, but it's more the sentimental value.
Oh,
You can never
sentimental value, of
replace it.
course.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's I set myself up for a lot of struggle because of my attitude to life. I'm not leaving my guitars. I'll take the neck off them and take them on board with me.
Yep.
But and that just becomes a pain in the neck. But anyway, but
Mm.
I think there's been quite a few, but I think Broadbeach Blues Festival was one of the best. Blues Train's always been a highlight, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It'll come to me 5 minutes after I get off.
Have you been over to WA? Have you toured over in WA?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No, that'd be fun. I had tried years ago. I tried to
Mm.
get on Bridgetown and things like that, but no success. But yeah,
Right.
that would be fun. I only recently to WA in June this year. Went for a couple of days because my son was flying over. So I was stoked how pretty it is. I love it. It's a beautiful place.
Um, I ask pretty much everyone I speak to about this. What's your opinion on streaming services, Spotify, Apple Music? Do you think it?
Hmm.
Do you benefit much from those sort of services?
Oh, definitely not financially, but I
Mm.
got a $1 royalty check the other day. I
$1.
got an email from APRA saying you've got a royalty payment. It was $1.01. So, well, that's thank you. I'm going to retire now. But I mean, the opinion is that we're stuck with it and we know it. There's nothing you
Mm.
can do about it because it's there. And I mean, from one angle, it's a sensational service because your music is readily available. And if you hear other people's music that you wouldn't know existed. So I sort of
Mm.
appreciate it all from that point of view. But I just think it's disgusting, the complete financial rot that it is for musicians, that you get
Yeah.
paid like 0.004 of a cent per play, if that,
Yep.
and your music's there and you also have to pay for the privilege to listen to it if you want to have an account with them. So it's good and bad. It's evil and good at the same time. I think, it's
Sure.
weird. But I don't know I think it's the demise of the music industry in a lot of ways.
Mm.
So
Mm.
trying to pull my face out so I can see you. I don't know what's happened. Oh well.
Do you have presence on Bandcamp?
I've been trying. I do not very well though. Like it's like everything when you're still working full time. It takes a lot
Mm.
of your spare time to get all that stuff uploaded. But yeah,
Yeah.
people have been suggesting that I do that because it's
Mm.
apparently nicer to musicians and
It
pays
is.
you more and stuff. So,
Yeah. Yep.
but
Yep.
yeah,
No.
it's pretty sad, isn't it? And nobody buys CDs anymore.
Mm.
You know.
You go into JB Hi-Fi these days and you're just disappointed in what's there.
Yeah, I know.
And the price you're
Yeah,
paying, just like gone back to the late 90s before they had the parallel
yeah.
pricing, what do you want to call it?
Yeah, it's a very odd thing, but like it's really quite sad because we always would sell a few CDs at a gig and festivals especially, but now people go, oh no, I don't want a CD. I haven't even got a CD player anymore.
Mm.
So there's all that to contend with as well. So you sell some, but not enough to make anything back out of what you put into it. But
It's a little bit
I
like
still,
vinyl. It's a niche market now.
yeah, it is. Yeah, that's another thing too. But it's funny, isn't it? I wonder when they'll go back to cassettes.
Well, funny thing is, like you have a look at a lot of the I don't know. There are a few Australian artists that do bring out limited edition cassettes, and there's a lot of international artists that are big on cassettes now too.
I guess
Whether
it'll all
you
go
know,
round and come back around, won't it? I mean, if we're
yeah,
back there now, then CDs will come back too. So I'll
It's like
keep my.
I've got probably about a dozen or so cassettes up on the shelf. So um, vinyl
From
wise, I've got maybe about 50 vinyls. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Uh,
I haven't. I bought some from a festival. We got a vinyl from one of the bands we like, but yeah, I've got enough of the old vinyls, the original ones, to.
mm,
But
mm,
and they're a bit more cost prohibitive to make vinyls these days, because Marshall mentioned
yeah.
that too. He said you could do vinyls instead of CDs, but I thought, I don't know, not
Is
sure
it?
about that.
It would be expensive to manufacture the vinyl, wouldn't it?
I think so. Yeah, it's more expensive than CDs. So
Mm,
CDs were quite reasonable, but it's still
yeah.
probably a waste of time, because I'll end up with another. I have to have a big bonfire one day when I get sick of it all and burn all my CDs.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No.
When I'm too old to rock and roll.
That's You're never too old to rock and roll. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's right. That's my motto too. It's never going to happen.
What's his name? What was his name? Ken Sparks. Have you heard of him?
No, I don't think so.
He used to be I think he was a DJ or something, and he had before he passed on, he was big with a television program on one of I think it was the Aurora channel on Foxtel.
Oh yeah,
The show was called Jukebox Saturday Night.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, well, his son, when he passed on, his son took over,
Yeah.
and they put a lot of unseen black and white. Like, what was was it called GTR or something? The show on the ABC back in the day.
Yeah, I think so. I remember that. I
I can't remember now, but
It's one of
yeah,
those.
yeah, all the black and white, like your Masters Apprentices and
Yeah.
Russell Morris. Yeah,
Yes.
no, yeah,
Yeah. Oh well.
never
It's a
too.
changing world.
And that's what that was one of his slogans. You're never too old to rock and roll.
That's it. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, yeah.
I think rock and roll keeps you young anyway.
It does. It does.
Mhm.
I actually want to get out and learn to dance rock and roll. Do the rock and
Oh,
roll.
isn't it great? Yeah, that's so much fun.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting out and doing that. I mean, I'm not a fit boy.
Aren't aren't you?
No, no.
Well, dancing would make you fitter.
It would. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, yeah. So, what's next for you now that you've released your best of? You're wanting to tour. Are you planning on releasing anything in the future?
Yes, I am planning. That's my hope and my ambition, is that I'll next, without too much delay, get on to actually recording some more original stuff, because I need to, and I've got some stuff accumulating, not finished, but like songs half finished or the whole song and no words and that sort of thing. So I've got a bit of a head start there, but that is my plan. So I'm hoping that probably, I suppose, up to the first half of next year, if I'm realistic. Sooner would be good, but with Christmas coming up and all the delays and things that happen in your life. But I am working on it, and I'm hoping to just get that started next. Strike while the iron's hot.
Look forward to it. Definitely.
Yeah, thanks.
So, one more thing. I like to ask this question to everyone I speak to. If you had the opportunity to collaborate with someone that's not with us, who would it
Oh,
be?
who would it be? And that's a tricky thing. I mean, from a personal level, my first go-to would be my husband. Like, I wish he was back.
Mm,
That's a devastating loss in my life. But
mm.
Rory Gallagher. I think he and I would get on well.
It's quite possible. You never know with this.
Oh, no, you bring him back and, oh God, no, I don't want AI. I want real.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I definitely agree. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm too, I like things to be honest and straight up.
Definitely.
But yeah, that'd be weird, wouldn't it? If suddenly I'm on stage with Rory Gallagher because someone created it in
Mm.
AI.
Well, they had a holographic footage of Billy Thorpe on stage when they did the Long Way to the Top reunion back in
Oh, wow.
2009.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty
Um,
cool, the stuff they can do. Like, I
oh,
mean, it's amazing, but we just don't want it to rob us of our
no,
livelihood and our
you don't.
creativity.
No, it is quite scary because the amount of the amount of AI technology that's out there at the moment,
Yeah.
it's enough to make you.
It's creepy. Like,
It is.
it's actually really hard to discern what is AI and what isn't. Like, there's so many reels, people will send you reels. Oh, look at this cute thing of a bloody seal leaping out of the water onto a boat. And then you sort of look at it and you think, something just doesn't look right, but I'm not sure. Like, I can't 100% tell.
Mm,
And I think that people can create and manufacture anything they want you to believe, which is frightening.
indeed. Well, I see on YouTube as well. They've got the reels of Elvis Presley and John Lennon singing together,
Oh, really?
and I mean, you can tell it's AI. You can
Yeah.
definitely tell it's AI, but as I say, technology only gets better and better. I mean,
Yeah.
how far can they actually push it?
Yeah, I wonder. And I think I rely and have faith that people still will be able to realize what's real, especially creatively speaking, and, tell people will probably, it might be a fad for a while, I think,
Mm,
with music that's created by AI, but I think people still really love live music and seeing actual people do things and the creative thing. So
mm,
I don't
mm,
know. I hope it doesn't go I hope it doesn't any worse than it is now,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, the world has changed so much just with telephones, and people are walking around with their head in their phone and can barely even communicate with each other. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe there's no hope for humanity. Let's hope and pray that creativity doesn't get completely destroyed.
No, it's it. That's it. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, Christina, thank you so much for having a chat with me. It's been an interesting conversation. So
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
really
likewise. I
appreciate it.
appreciate the opportunity, Kelvin.
Yeah. I'll look forward to hearing your album in full when I get it off Marshall.
Yeah, I'll send me an email. Send me your address, and I'll post it. You probably get it.
Yeah,
Better not say
quicker.
that. He's very good, but so am I.
Yeah. No. No. So what I'll do is I'll let you go. Good luck with your next lot of touring, your next album that comes out. I'd love to be
Thank
able
you.
to have another chat with you when that album comes out
Yeah,
as well.
for sure. Look
No,
forward to it.
yeah. All
I'll
right.
keep
Well,
you
look,
in the loop.
definitely do, definitely do, definitely do, and have a watch of the rest of my chats with
Yeah,
I've got Ross Wilson, I've got Phil Coyne and the Wayward Aces, I've got a woman from the US. Her name is Judy Mangini. She's a blues artist. Her group's called Judy Sings the Blues.
nice.
She's from Delaware. Aaron Pollock. I've spoken with the Musical Tones.
Yeah, they're a great
Um,
band.
they are. Yeah.
So cool.
Cole is such a character. Such a character. Yeah. So
Yeah, they really put on a great show.
yeah. I'd love to. I've seen a couple of their clips on social media and YouTube and that, but when I finally get the opportunity to go back over east, I'll be going to see them.
Yeah, you should do. That'll be great.
All right. Well, as I said, good luck with everything, and I hope to chat with you again soon.
All right, thanks, Kelvin. Take it easy.
Thanks, Christina. You too.
All right, bye.
All right. Thank you.
I'm just talking blues, turn it up loud. Real talk, real music, draw a crowd. From the legends to the cats paying dues. Come on in, we're just talking blues.